Hi everybody, my name is Jessica and this is my channel Plant Hooker. And it's bake day again today. I have a wedding to go to on Saturday. My cousin is getting married. So I'm baking her some peanut butter and honey cookies. Now, the wedding's not for a couple of days. These cookies take 2 days to make because you have to refrigerate them overnight. So we're starting today. You'll see me in one piece of clothing and then tomorrow I'll be wearing something different. So it's not that I'm changing during while I'm filming, it's just it takes 2 days to make this recipe. I'm also making a double batch today because if I'm making a batch for somebody, I have to make a batch for my boys and girls. So the video will be a double batch, but if you don't feel like watching the whole video, in the description box will be the recipe, and in the description box it'll be a single batch. But if you just stick around and watch the whole video, thank you very much. I greatly appreciate it. So let's get started. Now the first things we're going to want to do is, of course, a big bowl. But the first things we're going to want to do is mix some of the dry ingredients together first. So for a double batch, I have 5 cups of flour. Now this is still the hybridized wheat, but I finally found a bag of the organic hybridized wheat. So I get to test these to see if they bother my stomach. Because as I've shown you in the other videos previously, I was still using the regular hybridized wheat and I was still having gut issues. Because I know some of the videos that you may have seen, like I look, so that's why. But now everything is fine. Gut is doing good. We've been really disciplining ourselves and making sure that we're eating healthy. So we have the flour, and then the next thing that goes in the flour is the baking powder. Now this is 1 teaspoon of baking powder. This is the Bob's Red Mill. Now, the Bob Red Mill's baking powder, even though it doesn't have any aluminum in it, it's not organic. It's not even non-GMO. So the cornstarch that is in this is sprayed heavily with like probably atrazine and glyphosate. Because you can't find organic baking powder here in Cape Breton, so I'll have to maybe go online and try elsewhere. Because I have eaten this in a yeast-free bread and it still did bother me. So we're going to see. So it might still bother me in the cookies. I'm not 100% sure because, again, with the hybridized wheat and whatnot. But if you're concerned about like heavy metals, this is fine. And it goes. And the next dry ingredient is the baking soda. I'm trying to remember which one's the baking soda. Now with the baking soda, it is half a teaspoon of baking soda for the double batch. This is just your Arm & Hammer. It's nothing special. It's baking soda. Okay, and the next dry ingredient is, of course, the salt. Now, this is 1 teaspoon of sea salt. You can use table salt if you wish. I just prefer the sea salt because sea salt is healthier for you. This is, mind you, this isn't any kind of special sea salt. It's just like your Great Value. I'm almost done the bottle, and then I will be switching to the Celtic sea salt, which has 82 minerals that your body will actually need and pull from the salt. And then we need, I always forget to pull out a spoon lately. I don't know why. Just busy getting everything ready and organized, and my spoon is the last thing on my mind. So everything's all mixed together, and you just set this aside. And now we work on the drier or the wet ingredients. So the first thing we'll want to do is cream together the shortening. This is 1 cup of Crisco all vegetable shortening. You can find organic shortening, like I've seen it. It's the same company that makes my coconut margarine, the Nutiva. Only I'm having trouble trying to get it here. Like I can see it order online and then it's always out, it's always out, it's always out. Or it's like one little tub for like $90. And so it's hard to get here. But it does exist. It does exist, the organic shortening. Only I think they make it with palm oil instead of vegetables. Okay, so we gotta cream this with the peanut butter. Now this is, how much? This is 1 cup of peanut butter. Unfortunately, I couldn't find any of the organic peanut butter in town. So this is just the regular Kraft peanut butter. There are organic peanut butters that exist. But they do exist, yes. Sorry, technical difficulties. So you're gonna cream the peanut butter with the shortening. Bird clock. It's 2 o'clock. The boys will be home soon, so I gotta get this done before they get home. Because they won't want to wait overnight. They'll want me to bake it now, which I have. They didn't turn out as good. So they do need to be left in the refrigerator overnight. Mix it till it's all nice and creamy together. Like so. And then the next thing that goes in is the sugar. Now you'll need 1 cup of brown sugar. This is the organic brown sugar. This is the compliments. You can use the regular, it doesn't really matter, it's entirely up to you. This is just my preference. Voila, it'll look like this once it's done. Then I believe the next thing you'll add is the eggs. Now this is egg replacer, it's not eggs. It's 2 tablespoons of egg replacer mixed with 6 tablespoons of water, and it's sat for 10 minutes. If I can't use eggs because I'm anaphylaxis to eggs, but if you'd like to use eggs, it takes 2 eggs. Look like this. And last but not least, you'll want to add the honey. This is 1 cup of organic wild honey. Now, the difference between this stuff is, well, first I'll grab the jar. Because normally, I know some of you are thinking, oh, I thought you were vegan and blah, blah, blah. No. My diet is plant-based. I am not what they call a real vegan because, well, for example, I have carnivores for pets. I work in the fishing industry. I love to horse ride and I date carnivores. Or my boyfriend says he's a carnivore. But he treats me with the respect for what my dietary choices are, just like how I treat him with respect for what his dietary choices are. It works. But this company is from Nova Scotia on the mainland in Antigonish. Now, I've spoken to her at farmers markets. She's a wonderful person. I couldn't have asked for a better person because I couldn't eat the store-bought honey, and I just thought I was allergic to honey because it would give me stomach issues. And it was from her that I found out that a lot of honey that is store-bought actually has like corn syrup and thickeners in it because to make more of it, to be more processed and whatnot. And it's pasteurized, so they boil it. This is unpasteurized, it's wild. This is pretty much straight from the bees. And I don't get any issues when I eat this stuff. So I haven't tried any other organic wild honey. This is the only one I have tried, so I don't know if it is all wild organic honey or if it's just hers. I will, however, highly suggest her always. So in goes the honey. And another thing you can use, if you don't really want to have honey in these cookies, something that you can substitute is brown rice syrup. It has the same consistency as honey. It's just the taste, it's not as sweet, but it will work as a honey replacement. And I think you can find a bee-free honey online where it's collected from humans and then processed into honey. I'm trying to remember what it's called. I've seen it online. I don't think there's any of that here in Nova Scotia or Cape Breton. I'm not sure about the rest of Canada, but I do know the States. I've seen it in the States for sure. Something, agave syrup will work too, only it'll have more of a molassy taste to it. Because I used to use those before I found out that I could eat wild honey. Now this is going to be much stickier and you really need to get in here. It's going to get thicker. And after a while, you'll feel it start to loosen up, and then it gets a little easier to stir as the honey mixes in with all the other ingredients. Finally, the last wet ingredient to go in is the vanilla. Now this is one, I know it's kind of hard to show it because the way the bowl is shaped, but this is 1 teaspoon of the Clubhouse Pure Vanilla Extract. You can use artificial. I choose not to use the artificial because the caramel coloring in it, and it's a carcinogen, and I don't want to put that in this, even though there are probably already carcinogens in it from the baking powder. But if I can control as much as I possibly can, then I'd rather have less carcinogens than all the carcinogens. But to each their own. I'm not shaming or anything. If you so wish to use the artificial, good for you. That's your choice entirely. A little dollop of hard brown sugar. Alright, now it's going to look like this. Okay, once that is all done, now we gotta add the dry ingredients. After a while, it may get harder to stir with the spoon. You're more than welcome to switch to your hands. I probably will be switching to my hands because it's easier. My hands are clean. I did wash them before I started. I'm gonna have to switch to my hands now. Kind of like hold in the flour. Make sure it's all mixed in very, very well. Also checking for lumps, bumps, and other bumps that could be in there. Nobody likes lumps, bumps, and bumps in their cookies. And you mix until it looks like this. And then you wash your hands. Oh. Get it all out. Another thing you can do too is you can shape it into rolls. But you gotta kind of flour your surface first. It makes a mess. And then you chill it in a roll and then you cut it up. And it does make it easier to put them on the cookie sheets. But I find I can still do it this way without having to roll it up and cut it. It's just, you gotta kind of use your hands a little more, but it makes less mess. And the next step is to take this and chill her in the fridge overnight. Okay, and we will see you tomorrow. Hi everybody, we're back now. I've changed into some different clothes. It's the next day. Now it's time to take the dough out of the fridge. It does feel heavier, so it did get denser. And now it's time to put them on the cookie sheets. I'm gonna move you a tiny little bit. There we go. I'll be headless for a time. for a touch. Now you'll want to preheat your oven to 400 degrees Fahrenheit, which is 204 degrees Celsius. Into little balls. It'll be crumbly too, so don't worry, it'll still work. Just squeeze them together into little balls. This is where like rolling it into rolls and then cutting it comes easy, but you make more mess. This part, I don't mind. It's still gonna come out the same. It just makes for a tiny bit more work, but less mess. Sorry, I got my dryer going. The wedding is tomorrow, so I'm trying to get everything cleaned so I don't have to worry about stuff for the next couple of days because it's going to be busy with family. Like I'm not sure what family's going to be home. Like nobody's contacted me to let me know, which this is my mother's side of the family, so I'm almost not surprised. Yeah, I'm the black sheep of the family. It's done. I still have to run to town. Get a couple more supplies for the wedding. Paint my nails and toes. What else do I gotta do? I gotta iron my pants, iron Jack's pants. Raymond should be fine. What else is going on? That's about it. Sunday, the boyfriend, kids, and I are going to the theater, which is there she goes, which is about 2 hours away. Yeah, that's the closest movie theater. We're in the States. And me and the older kids, because there's big age gaps between our kids, are going to go watch the new Joker movie. I cannot wait to see that. And then the boyfriend and the younger kids are going to go watch The Wild Robot. So they're, my youngest is excited to see that. I'm not sure about the girls yet, but Orc. Every famous peanut butter cookie, even though it's peanut butter and honey cookies, can have the fork marks. Back in the bowl because they're starting to get a little bit sticky, which is normal. So while these are baking, the dough goes back in the fridge until it's turn. Now I might have to push you back a tiny little bit so I can open the door and bring you back. How close can you come? Right. Right here. There we go. And in the oven they go. Now the cookie sheets are greased. I greased them with the Nutiva coconut margarine. And then they bake for 10 minutes. And then we'll be back. And now they're ready to come out of the oven. Don't they look yummy? They look yummy. Okay. Now, They do need to sit for about 20 minutes before you can try one. It's like anything. Most things need to sit for 20 minutes. Hi, Slim. So we're gonna let it sit. And then we'll be back to taste test. Okay, now they've cooled down to where we can taste test them. And it's which one am I gonna do? Probably this ugly one, because this is not gift material. Bottom burnt a little bit. They're still very good. I still don't know why the bottom burnt a little bit though. Hope it's not on all of them. It's still good even with a burnt bottom. It's just me eating the cookie. But they are very good. And we're going to see how the organic flour, there's still folic acid in it, so it may affect my possible ADD. Because I've had therapists tell me that I have ADD. But I don't think so. Highly recommend. Now, if you liked the video, give me a thumbs up. If you didn't like the video, you can always give me a thumbs down. Everybody has a right to their opinion. But if you really like the video, subscribe. And as always, long and big.